I think the vote is probably most important for younger people in exactly that age bracket, because if you look over the last number of years, since 2008 for instance, unemployment rates in this state have doubled. We have huge levels of youth unemployment, we have a huge level now again, sadly, of forced emigration. And I think the people who have the highest stake in this debate are actually young people, some of whom won't even get to vote on it. Principally why we're arguing for a no vote is because we can see the evidence over the last number of years in Ireland and across the continent of a failed policy. A policy that's led to, for instance, 50% youth unemployment in Greece, a similar situation in Spain. And very simply we say when you establish that your policy isn't working, and that's the case here in this state, you have to change it. That's what politics is all about. So the no vote is not a rejection of Europe, it's not a rejection of the euro as our currency, but it is a democratic demand for a change in policy and a move away from what's called austerity, which means cutbacks and hacking away at services in the economy, and to move very firmly onto the path of investment in jobs and in growth. And the strange thing is, meanwhile, this treaty is being debated here in this country, the game has moved on. It's moved on in France, it's moved on even in Germany, and there's a recognition that hacking and cutting and cutting and hacking isn't going to work, isn't going to get our young people back to work, isn't going to give people opportunities to make their lives and have their future here in Ireland. We want that to change, and that's what the no vote is all about.
I think if we don't defeat the treaty, then I think it is going to have a very significant impact on young people for many years to come, as they come out of school and out of college and seek employment, or indeed even while they're in school and college, in terms of the resources that are available to them while they're there, because the targets to reduce our debt and our deficit over a particular time frame, which the treaty require, is going to mean really savage cuts in public spending in areas like education, and it is also going to mean that there will be very few jobs around. In fact, I think it's going to deepen the economic decline of the country, which we've seen result from the austerity that's been imposed so far. I think we're going to see that intensify, and it means permanent mass unemployment will become a sort of feature of Irish society for many years to come. So I think sadly it's going to have a very major effect on young people, and that's why we think we have to vote no to this treaty and open up the possibility of an alternative set of policies. Now, I don't want to pretend the alternative is easy, we're not saying that. Either way, we're in a deep crisis and the situation is very challenging, but we believe to continue down the road we've gone down for the last 4 years is crazy, because it's clearly not working. And to simply do more of the same is just going to make the situation worse. So we're arguing that we should oppose this, repudiate the gambling debts of bankers and financial institutions, and that would put us in a lot better position. But there does also need to be a significant redistribution of wealth in this country in order to get the public finances back in order and to provide the state with money to invest where we can create jobs and invest in developing our public services. So that's why we're arguing for a no vote, and I think it would be very much in the interest of young people to vote no on that basis.
Well, it's a good question, but the question can't be asked without also asking what will the impact be of a yes. And on both of those, you'd have to say it's going to be an unsure future. There is going to be no easy way out of this. There are going to have to be cutbacks, because whether you vote yes or no, there's no guarantee of funding. And anyone who says there's a guarantee of funding either way is telling a big fat lie, because Europe is up in a heap at the moment. So why would I vote no? I would vote no for a start because it would send a very strong message to the government that you're looking for them to go out and fight in a different way. The most important thing here is this massive banking debt that has been put on our shoulders. That is not ours. That has to be gotten rid of. And will it be gotten rid of if we vote yes? I think there's far less chance. If we send a signal out that we are pissed off with the way they're going about things, well, then we have a better chance of them going back and renegotiating that debt. I have no problem with a 60% debt to GDP ratio, or even lower if it can be achieved. But it cannot be achieved the way that they're talking about how they're going to achieve it. Voting yes for this, and then bit by bit nibbling away at it with some fantasy growth idea. You're not going to be able to say definitively what's going to happen, because we're in a very unsure time. But one thing I am sure about is, I eat food, that's how I survive. And we can produce 10 times as much food as we need in this country. And the fact that you have any amount of water, which many countries don't have. You have no natural disasters. You have no, we don't even have snakes here, bar what's in the Dáil. So from the point of view of, if we vote no, are we finished? You're only finished if you have low confidence in the country. And if you have great confidence in the country and you vote no, you're not finished, because those same things will be there. It's just a question of putting things in the right order to make it work for us.